Hi there. Welcome to Monetize Your Business podcast conversations in partnership with FNB. My name is Hetty, the entrepreneur, and I am your host for this conversation. But as always, I am not flying this plane on my own. I do have my co-host with me, Papa Biz. How are you today?
Papa Biz here. I'm glad to be here. And I'm looking forward to this conversation that we're going to be having because this is an individual that we picked up quite nicely and connected with at the different workshops. And looking forward to introduce her to the rest of the community.
Absolutely. I look forward to our conversation today with Lebohang Skhosana. She is actually from my own township of Tsakane. So it's not every day that you get to have a nice podcast conversation with your home girl. I really am looking forward to it. She is the founder of Toca Essentials. Lebohang, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm looking forward to our conversation. You're one of my home girls.
Yes.
Hailing from Tsakane, and we had a wonderful opportunity to connect with you at our very first workshop for Monetize Your Business in Tsakane. How did you find that workshop? How was it for you?
That workshop was very informative, and it was also good to connect with other people as well because networking is always key in businesses. And it was just an eye-opener for other opportunities available rather than just secluding yourself. Yeah.
Was there anything specifically that you found to be eye-opening?
The fireside chats with FNB, because we also found out like what other services FNB can assist you with. Didn't know that beforehand, but attending it, I was like, okay, these are the things you can do. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. I also loved it. I loved the energy in the room. Everybody came ready to network. It was such a lovely vibe.
Yeah.
But before we go deeper into that, I actually want to know a little bit more about you, the person, Lebohang.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a little bit more about your upbringing, where you grew up, just those early foundational years?
Okay. So I refer to myself as a Gauteng child because both my parents were born in Tsakane. I'm born in Tsakane.
Sure.
They met in Tsakane as well. So I grew up in Tsakane, went to primary school, high school in the area. And then afterwards I went to Valtech, where I did my diploma in cost management accounting. Then afterwards, I went into the job market where I actually worked as a finance analyst intern, and then I moved into different project work. Then afterwards, I moved into VETS in educational sector and projects as well.
Okay.
And in the midst of things, I also had another business which I had started, worked in a partnership with. It was an IT-based business. And then COVID hit. After COVID, you were alone, you had to find yourself. And then that's when I actually founded Toca Essentials. And it was not really found as a business to do stuff. I was doing like herbal remedies for friends and family.
Okay.
And then my cousin was like, I think you should put a sticker on it and then start selling. And that's how I started. And then that's how Toca Essentials was born. And that's my history. Yeah.
Just going back a bit further initially, what is your home upbringing like? Do you have brothers and sisters, or you're your only child? Just to go into that.
I'm the firstborn of 6.
Okay.
So I have 2 younger brothers, 3 younger sisters.
Okay.
As a firstborn, everything was literally, you are the example everywhere you go. That's how we brought up. But we lived mostly with my mother. Our parents separated, and then it was me, my brother, my sister. We brought up in Tsakane. My mom was a very spiritual person. Actually, my family, my mother's side of the family, they are the herbalists of the family.
Okay.
So that's where I actually picked up some of the herbal remedies that I used to do, because it was like I used to watch my great-grandmother do the herbal remedies. Somebody would come, hey, Khono, I need this. And Khono just mixes up. It's like, are you seeing but she's like, you go study something. Don't. So that's my upbringing. I was brought up by my great-grandmother, my mother, my grandmother. So I have that encompassed in me. And also their knowledge and actually sharing everything that I do as well. So, yeah.
Did you see entrepreneurship growing up? Was it something that you saw often, maybe family members that had that entrepreneurial spirit? Because often at times we're raised to, go to school, get your degree or certificate, and then you go into the working world.
Yeah.
Did you have examples of entrepreneurship growing up?
Not really fully, because my mother would go into entrepreneurship once in a blue moon. So she also did loan sharks business as well.
Okay.
And then she used to sell clothes. There was a lot of things. Like December, I was the one counting the money. So that's how she did it. Even back in the day, I remember there used to be like TV license agents who used to go house to house to make sure did you pay or not. I remember those. And then you have to fix it. So I used to work with her, and then I think that was my introduction to entrepreneurship.
Okay.
My great grandmother also dabbled in entrepreneurship as well. But for her, it was more of like a means to an end. Like, I need to do this so that we're able to live. That was my entrepreneurship introduction. Yeah, yeah.
And did you find that while going through, because like myself as well, I'm the eldest in my family.
Yeah.
So would you find that there was a pressure growing up in terms of to be an example, and in terms of what you went to study? Was that something that you really wanted to study, or it was because you felt that, okay, this is something that, I should be doing, to guide the others?
Yes, in a way, there was a lot of pressure. There still is, because you still have to show that there is a way. I actually chose one of the two options my family gave me. The first one was in engineering, and then the other one was in accounting. So I was like, okay, I'll go to accounting because I know I can play with the numbers. I did study that, but I actually did enjoy it, and I actually got great grades from it. Hence why I was able to go into finance analyst and project work, who was based on the accounting work that I did. Yeah.
And did you find that your other siblings, did they also take an interest in the herbal remedy side from the family? Was it something that spoke more to you?
It spoke more to me. They are more in corporate, like most of them are in corporate. We have 2 CAs right now. One, he does like community development work, but through another company. One is still studying for hospitality.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm the one who's more in the herbal side of things, because even back in the day, like if we're playing or somebody scratched their leg, I'll be the one running to the garden, taking some aloe, applying it. Yeah, apply it, and then everybody carries on. The next morning, like, oh, it's gone. So I was like,
What do you think it was that intrigued your kind of fascination with it? What was it about the herbal remedies that made you think, this is interesting?
Because I saw the effectiveness of the herbs. I mean, like I had one cousin, we were playing as young kids, and her nail like literally got like
Fell off.
Her nail fell off,
that
right?
must be bloody painful.
She was crying.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and then I took some aloe plants, and then I just mixed it, and then I just applied on her, and then we're just playing like, let's carry on playing. The next day, like, it's like,
Healed.
it's healed. But
Yeah.
then I didn't really pay attention to it, because we're always told you need to go to school.
Yes.
Study this or that. Don't think this is the future, but yeah.
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 I'm also truly, kind of fascinated by it as well. Of late, we've also taken to like planting our own like spices and herbs.
Hey, are we saying we? You speak there.
Okay, he plants, I eat. So it's, it's a joint venture.
It works. It wants a value chain.
Yeah. And it's just so fascinating how flavorful the food becomes. It's just so incredible how the earth is just so abundant.
Yes.
And it also reminds you of how, like, the earth sustains itself.
Yeah.
And there are just so many medicinal, remedies that are out there, but sometimes we don't actually just take that time to explore it. And often at times you find that it's even more effective, definitely less harmful on the body as well. So I definitely really do find it quite fascinating.
Yeah.
Tell me something. You didn't just jump into Toca Essentials. first you went into corporate and you began your career. So you were, following the normal path and trajectory. How was that career experience for you?
Oh, it was wonderful. I think I was very blessed. When I started, I had managers who were not necessarily from South Africa who wanted me to grow with them.
Cool.
I have Linda, Adrianelle, Erica. So they were one was from Budapest and the other one was from Sweden actually. And then
Even from Budapest. Oh.
yeah. So when I joined the team, they were like, okay, we're not here to baby you. We are here for growth.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, cool. First time working, I was like, okay. Started work. And then the nice thing is they teach you and then they give you the independence so that you also learn from it so you can also take control of the work that you do. That was actually wonderful because I ended up knowing so many people within the organization. I was like the go-to campus. If you need this, I know where to get it because they teach you and then you gain your independence at the same time. So that was really awesome. Yeah.
And I guess that's a good way to learn because then you're actually entrenching yourself to be an asset to the company.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. And that's also how I got into projects because in the finance side, if you're doing reports for people, their monthly, weekly reports, sometimes you go and say, well, what do you guys do? That's how you network yourself. And then that's how the project office team was like, okay, we know you.
Yes.
Definitely come join us. So that's how I ended up through those small things.
Yeah. What are some of the biggest lessons that you learned in corporate that you are finding useful now in your entrepreneurship journey?
Talking to people. Networking.
Really?
Yes. It helps a lot. My one-on-ones, when I speak to different people, I'm able to make such a difference with them because they get to really understand where I'm from, what I stand for, and what they actually need.
Yes.
Because of that, like speaking to somebody, what do you need? Like, let's break it down. I learned that a lot from corporate, like, because you know how I actually come into that, because usually they were like, okay, just send an email, this is how you do it, whatnot. But then you see somebody's not replying to your email, end up going to the desk. Okay, let's sit down, let's have coffee. Let's break it down, let's introduce ourselves so that when you see my email, you don't be like, oh, yes. You are like, oh, I know this, I need to do this now, because you get to understand how it affects their work and also how it affects mine. So that's how it really impacted my business. And also because of the amount of admin that we used to do, obviously, I know when it comes to compliance, I'm always on par. If you need something, you will definitely get it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
Okay, and then how did you go from that to then finding a partner to go into the IT area? Was that your first foray into trying some type of business?
Yes, in a way. With IT, I had friends in the IT sector, and then obviously with the work that I was doing, we identified like maybe I can try here, I can try doing this and that, and then I was like, okay, guys, maybe let's form something together, and then let's just start by doing like service. That's not as software reselling as a start, and then let's see how that takes us. And then that's how we actually started on the side, and then identified like different companies, different potential clients, also networking, going to the events, whatnot. Yeah, so that's how we started with the IT stuff.
Okay, so you'd network and go to different events. Was that different events for like IT related things?
Yes, for IT related things, we went to like your IBM related events, SAP, Java, all those things. We used to be there.
But this is quite, if I'm thinking about it, this is quite out of the normal realms for somebody who's dealing in accounting. Were you not nervous as you're going through that and even going to these different conferences?
At first, I used to be nervous, but I grew a great fondness to it.
Okay.
Because I ended up understanding what the field was about and actually how you can fit in and create your own mark. With that, I was actually able to enter like big rooms I never thought I would be in. So I've done work with ABSA before. We've done work with IBM.
Sure.
So in certain theaters where we actually did the server rooms. So it was quite a number of work that we did.
And then you mentioned, obviously, then, sure, when, COVID hits and everything, and then it just completely destabilizes everything. How did you process? How did you go through that process?
Oh, everything was at a standstill, right? We were actually moving into doing like software development ourselves and building our own software with blockchain and also computer
With
vision.
blockchain?
Yeah, blockchain and computer vision.
I've read about those things. I've read books. I've read books to understand. Okay, so what does blockchain mean? Okay, cool. So I understand what it means, but as for using it, I was like, I'm not even there. I'm too much of a numbers person. So you got into numbers, and then at the point you're using the blockchain.
Yes, because the nice thing about blockchain, it's nothing ever gets like really deleted. It's a permanent. It's like your permanent footprint. So let's say if you're using it for document control, like if somebody accessed this document, it would say somebody accessed it at one time. And like having the master power to just delete that document, you cannot do that. If you want to amend, you amend. But it stays there forever.
Wow.
So we were looking in terms of that in certain software to build something with it. Then COVID hit, we lost two of our developers at the same time. We were like, okay, let's see some other things. But then from there, the whole partnership didn't really work out. Yeah.
Wow. What are some of the biggest lessons that you learned from that? Because, sometimes I find in business, we start something and then it ends or we close it. And, but there are lessons to be taken from that. And often at times we take those lessons into our next project to help it become better.
Yeah.
So what are some of the biggest lessons or aha moments you got from that season?
Choose your partners wisely. That's very important. The partners I had worked with, there was a bit of integrity issues.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I was like, okay, there's some things where you just have to learn to walk away from so you can build yourself and build.
Yes.
And then after that, I was like, let me hold on a bit.
Yes.
Can't just be. So those are the lessons. Find good partners where you are on the same page, where you can build together.
Yes, absolutely. That sounds really great. And so you thought, you know what? I'm not going to abandon this entrepreneurship journey. I'm going to continue, but now I'm going to branch into something that I'm passionate about, that I've discovered from a young age, etc. Tell us about the birth of Toca Essentials.
So the birth of Toca Essentials, it came from me finding a solution for myself. After having a baby, 2020, I had postpartum depression.
Okay.
And then I was like, let me see if maybe I can buy a solution or find a solution. And then I went to different stores. I was like, some things are not adding up. These things where my grandmother used to plant or go somewhere to find it, and then she has it. And then one of the solutions was like CBD-based products.
Okay.
Yeah, so she used to infuse her own cannabis with other plants as well.
See.
And then with that, like, eat it or have it in tea or, so that's how she started, like how she used to do it. And then I was like, okay, fine. I see this is how it started, right? But how do I modernize it into like the whole streamline of Then I did my own research from her knowledge, merged it with the modern ties, and then that's how I ended up bottling these products.
Wow, amazing. And did it help with your postpartum depression?
Yes, it did.
Wow.
Because one of the things, you are sleep deprived, you can't really connect with the baby. You have anxiety. Are things going to work out? What's going to happen? So a lot goes into when a person gives birth.
Yes.
A lot. And then at least with that, I was able to lower my anxiety, come one to self, sleep better, because sleep is very important. It also affects your milk production.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't sleep well, the baby's milk is also compromised, because remember, you're connecting with the baby one-on-one. Whatever emotions you have, you're feeding the child at an early age. So imagine if you have anxiety and all those things. and then the baby's feeding off that. So they would also be anxious. They would cry all the time.
Interconnected.
It's all interconnected. So I was like, okay, let me find my own solution. And then that's how I created like our first batch of CBD oil. And then that happened. My cousin also had a baby, like a gift to different people. My daughter's transport guy had gout, and he was like, here's some oil. 3 days later, he came back, like, look, I can walk.
Wow, look at that. Yes.
So, and then the nice thing is that with the CBD, it gave birth to all the other products because people wanted to know, can I use it for my beard? I was like, maybe if I add this and that, you can use
Because I'm using this for my beard. Thank you.
So is CBD like the foundational ingredient of basically all of the products within the Toca Essentials range?
Yes, CBD and African indigenous herbs, those are the foundations. So, for example, we have your petroleum jelly used with hemp seed oil, that's from CBD, and moringa and aloe. So, I like the African indigenous herbs, those are the herbs that we use.
And those are like body creams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our petroleum jelly. We also have African potato body cream as well. So, yeah.
Tell me something. Are there any misconceptions that people have about CBD? I know that it's currently on the rise and, a lot of people might not necessarily have all the information about it. Those who may be concerned about it, etc. What are some of the myths that you can debunk for us?
CBD is it's like a broad plant. There's different species of it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Within CBD, there's the one which is CBD without the THC, right?
Okay.
So we use the one without the THC. That's the compound that actually makes you more relaxed,
Okay.
When the people when they smoke, that's the thing they're looking at. But with CBD, you don't get that, but you actually get the medicinal properties of the whole plant, so that you use it. It's great for skin, great for your internal system, endocannabinoid system. It's excellent. So it works with your body to heal itself. So whether you have inflammation inside or outside, you can use it throughout. Yeah.
Okay.
And now, as you're going with this, how would you go about marketing the product? How did you go about doing that? Because obviously you're coming now from the IT side. Yeah.
Yeah. So I attend a lot of networking events. I build my network in that way and sell. And then I also do like neighborhood markets. So recently we had started a TikTok account where we're trying to do more lives.
Yes.
And just educating based on the products that we have. And then also on Instagram, it's still work in progress, but we found like we had more engagement via TikTok.
Okay.
And via attending neighborhood markets, because people, like sometimes with CBD, people want to speak to you one-on-one.
One-on-one.
Yes, and ask questions, I'm sure.
Yes, they do, because some people are like a bit skeptical or like, should I even try? So the nice thing about the TikTok lives, people will watch and then they will DM and then we'll talk after that, and then it works great. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually very good. And then would you find that as you're looking at and you're marketing it, that there were specific areas where there's actually more interest in these type of products and things like that?
Yeah. Actually, with our product range, so we're focused on the skin ailments mostly when we started, but then people wanted to know more, like, do you have something that can also work for hair? So our products are wide ranged, right?
Okay.
So, for example, our petroleum jelly, you can even use it for hair if you want to, because of the herbal infusions that we have. And our CBD oil, you can use it for massages. If you have inflammation, you just add a couple of lavender essential oil, and then it just does wonders. So, yeah.
And then earlier, actually, because I know we're wrapping up, but I wanted to get into it. Earlier, you had actually mentioned a neat plug that you are part of.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
There is a plug called We Connect.
Okay.
We Connect, it's an international organization having footprint in America, Europe, Asia, and here in Africa as well. So in Africa, it's South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya. So what they do is they gather women-owned businesses. So a business must be like at least 51% women-owned, controlled, or managed. And then you go there, and then they link you up with different corporates. So they have different corporates, from your Accentures to ABSA, for example, Cotiva, depending on who is part of the corporate for that year.
Yes.
So you get to sit with their supplier development. Yeah, one-on-one. And then you tell them, this is what I do. Like, where could you fit me? It is a one
Access to market.
That's proper access to market. So even if, like, let's say your Johnson and Johnson, they're also part of it. If they need like something for the corporate, I know a friend who does what's this, building maintenance.
Yes.
So she's got quite some work from them.
Really?
Yeah.
From this We Connect?
Yeah, from this We Connect. There's quite a lot that you can do there.
I guess because then one is able to connect with the different corporates to be able to see, and then some, I mean, in conversation, I mean, there's not much synergy.
Yeah.
But then in other conversations, like, oh, actually, we can be able to potentially work together. Have you been able to get certain types of work through that program, or not really?
Yes, I have. With my previous company, the IT company, I've done work with ABSA.
Really?
Yeah.
Do this We Connect?
Through this Reconnect. I've done work with ABSA, and then there's also like different NGOs linked to Reconnect. There was one, Afro Future Tech. They work with tech startups, but I actually linked with them using my products. So whenever they have events, probably they need goodie bags. We used to do their goodie bags as well. Yeah.
Oh, so interesting. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so inspired by this conversation because I think it kind of reminds us of the journey that you can, start observing the things that you are interested and passionate about.
Right.
Your journey might start within corporate and a career,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean it has to end there. You can start your own business
Yeah.
and feel your way around. You can even change businesses if you want to.
Yeah.
And until you finally find your feet, which I think is quite amazing. Lebohang, can you just share with us how can people keep in contact with you if they're interested in your products, and any final words that you might have for an entrepreneur that's watching that is either about to start their business or they're on their journey? We know that the road is not easy, so any final parting words that you would have for them?
Final parting words for entrepreneurs is don't give up. If one doesn't work, you will find a way. There's a saying that what's meant for you will find you.
Yes.
I think like at times the road can be quite shaky.
Yeah.
But if you stand ground, believe in what you're doing and stay true to yourself, eventually the things would happen. So that's one take for entrepreneurs. And also don't be a solopreneur and stay in your own corner.
Yes.
Go out, networking is fantastic. Networking is great. I've built my businesses purely on the networks that I have been part of. Without my networks, I don't think I'll be, like, for the monetize your business, I was referred from another network saying that, hey, there's this happening in your township. Do you even know about it? And I was like, no. And then she sent me the link, and because of that network, I was able to end up being here.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Grow and expand your network, and always build with your clients.
Yes.
Talk to them, whatever. And then how guys can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, we're found as Toca Essentials. Also on TikTok, it's Toca Essentials, one word. Also, we have WhatsApp for business. That's 073-093-6567. And then also our website will be live next week. So it's TOCA essentials.co.za. You'll find us there. All products are listed there.
Okay.
Excellent. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Great takeaways today, Papa Biz. What was your favorite takeaway?
I think there's two. The first one that springs to mind is don't chase perfection. Focus on chasing progression. And I think, what I heard from your story, it's reminiscent, of ours, where you've got a business that's running and so on, and then you realize that, hey man, we actually need to change here. And at the same time, progress is actually made in being able to identify and understand that this partnership of yours is not working. I can be able to do something else, but this partnership is not working. And you try and you force, and the more you force it, it's actually going to cause everybody to fail. And then I think the second thing as well is just in terms of, turning back and going back to your previous self and seeing the type of things that actually spoke directly to you, and you actually have more passion with those things, and then able to marry it in terms of business. I mean, I remember growing up, both my parents were teachers, and I never thought of going necessarily into teaching. But it was always something that I'd focus on and I'd observe with them and everything. And lo and behold, now we're in a business where we teach. I mean, it almost goes back full circle. And that's the connectivity that I've seen where, okay, sometimes you actually need to go back in order to actually be able to move forward.
Yeah. Sankofa.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I think my biggest takeaway from today is just having a conversation with one of my homegirls.
Yes.
It's always good to see what is being produced out of our townships, and the fact that there are incredible, thriving businesses and entrepreneurs that are coming out of our townships. So I'm very proud of the fact that you are from Tsakane. I think that we can wave that flag high, and very proud of all of the strides that you are making. So please do continue in that journey. Monetizers, we will definitely share all of the details so that you can purchase from Lebohang, you can keep in contact with her, and you can support her in any way possible as well. I'm really grateful for our partnership with FNB because it helps us to actually highlight these incredible entrepreneurs and businesses. So this has been a fantastic conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you once again for tuning into this episode of Monetize Your Business Podcast Conversations in partnership with FNB. Until our next episode, bye-bye for now.
Toodoo.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
So we've heard all about mentorship, but are you looking for a physical platform that you can plug into? Well, I've got good news for you. Monetize Your Business workshops in partnership with FNB have been designed exactly for you. If you are an entrepreneur based within the township, then we are coming to you. Monetize Your Business workshops are a fantastic platform where you can get access to masterclasses, fireside chats, networking, and you can also pitch your business for an amazing cash prize, a good boost into your business to help you grow and scale your business. You also have an opportunity to exhibit your products and services to a buying customer base and audience. So if this is something that you're interested in, hurry right now, run, don't walk to www.monetizeyourbusiness.co.za.